Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Welcome everybody. First of all, a big thank you to Maureen for having us here at the library.
Welcome.
And although there are no children's activities going to be happening today, it's school holidays and some children will be around the library obviously in that time, and that will be their opportunity to participate. I also want to welcome Michelle here from the Pest Free Waitakere Rangers Alliance, which some of you may not have heard of. A few of us got together, how long ago, Pam? About 10 years ago, and started the idea that there are a whole lot of groups that are doing restoration in the ranges, and we don't know who they are, and we don't know where the boundaries are between them, we don't know how they can cooperate, and so on. So we put this group together called the Alliance, and Pam and I were the founding co-chairs. I've left her to it now. Now that it's sort of up and running and underway and running smoothly, I've withdrawn. But this is an Alliance project, and the idea is that we have, what was that number? 20?
There's 14
14 special species, of which 3 have already been revealed, and another one is to be revealed today. The ones that have been revealed are from Titirangi, which has the kokopu, giant kokopu, Waiatarua, which is the weta. Not sure which sort of weta, might be a cave weta, might be a tree weta, might be a giant weta. We haven't quite sorted that, I gather. And then finally we have Oratea, which is Kiriru. And so all of those have been launched by a sort of process a little bit like this, although possibly with a few more members of the public and a few less members of the actual group itself, but there we go. I want to welcome also some of the members of our crew. So, and right in the back there, where he modestly stands, is Clive Thompson. Clive is our weed bin guy. So any bins that go from Piha go to landfill and have to be lined. So he lines them when they arrive, covers them over when it's time for them to go, and he does that about a dozen times a year, and it's quite a commitment. So we have Megan Vittel here, who's our secretary. Kim Willis. Now Kim manages the, I get the name wrong sometimes, the Hilltop Pest Gang.
Top of the hill gang.
Top of the hill gang. Okay. So she's got a really important role, which is managing the area from Te Ahu Road corner back to the cutting, the road down to Karikari. And that's, we are increasingly making, given that a pest-free organisation and environment should have a pest-free arrival, we're getting rid of the weed pests there, and we had the most recent thing was a planting into an area of agapanthus. Once the plants go up, we'll be digging out the agapanthus, and we'll just about be done then, I think, up there, which would be great. I remember Megan, who's also up there, and I and a few others dealing to pampas. Do you remember all the pampas that was welcomed people to Piha? Well, that's all gone up there, not further down, of course. Who else is here? Jenny Tanner. Jenny does the weed coordination in Kendall Road.
Very good people.
Yeah, that's right. That's very true. And Jill Polston, who does Te Ahu Road, same role. And is that us? I think it is. And me. I do nothing but just make sure that everybody else does stuff. And probably it is worthwhile saying to those of you who don't get our sort of management information that we began in 2018. We've now got over 400 on our mailing list, which in a village which has got about 1,100 people, and probably about 850 of them over 15. That's quite a chunk of people. 300 odd people on our Facebook page. Five roads, I've mentioned most of them have weeding and planting programs. We've got 2,000 seedlings, or had 2,000 seedlings in our nursery, which have now gone into the various roads that I've talked about. And then of course there's the predator side, so we've got people backyard trapping. We have several trap lines, some of them on park, some of them in private land, which run from, well, the southernmost ones are Te Ahuahu Road. There's very comprehensive backyard trapping there, and Log Race Road, there's a line of bait stations all the way out to the coast. And then at the far end we've got our friends, the Friends of Anafota, who are doing backyard trapping where they are. But also Tony Dunn, another of our trappers, has got lines in White's Beach, Tuaha Point, and the back of the Marawhara, and up Kirikiri Valley. So, and then we have our Dune group, we have our wasp control program, which has got 476 bait stations throughout Piha, and is making everybody's barbecues a lot happier, if nothing else. So we have a lot going on, and I'm so pleased that a few of our crew have turned up today. That's great. So this brings us to the real purpose of today, which is an unveiling.
No, I'm not going to do it.
And you're not going to do it. I've got money.
There's nothing there.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's going to be an even bigger surprise than I thought it was going to be there. I've always known Ted as a photographer. Ted, the artist, has sort of developed a bit later. And I always wondered, I've always admired his photography and wondered how he would become, what sort of a painter, what sort of an artist he would become. And we're about to find out a bit more about that today, although obviously I've seen previous work. But he does have a beautiful eye. So what I'm going to ask him to do is just to, before he unveils the work, shall we call it, I'll just ask him to sort of talk a little about his concept and the journey he's been on in producing the output.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You got a couple of hours?
No, we don't have a couple of hours. We don't have any kids to talk to.
Oh, I
so.
speak very quickly then.
Go for it.
Thank you for the introduction. I'll carry on with that. Yes, I was a photographer. I arrived in New Zealand in 1981, and after a couple of years, Bateman's Publishers asked if I'd like to do a book project. And the book project was Bateman's Encyclopedia of New Zealand, which they've been publishing over the years, but it was all in black and white. So they said, we want you to travel around New Zealand with the encyclopedia and photograph all the images in colour. So I had this fantastic journey of going around New Zealand with an encyclopedia, but it didn't quite work out like that, because if you start at the A's, it could be Auckland and the next one could be Arthur's Pass. I had to read the whole bloody encyclopedia and create a map and then put all the names on the map. So each day I would start off, the very first day I started from Auckland, I went to Mary Power Station, Hamilton, and by the end of the day I was at Cambridge, so I had to stop there. So each day I had to find somewhere to stay. So anyway, that was my introduction to New Zealand, which was quite a good one.
None of us have ever done that actually, done the whole length of the country.
I didn't do the whole lot because the project was going to be a fortnightly issue that people would buy and build up an encyclopedia over a period of time. And they used somebody called Tim Shadbolt on the TV promotion.
Sir Tim.
And good old Tim did his bit, but the whole bloody project bombed because people bought the first issue, half the amount of people bought the second, and it dropped because people realised to actually put this encyclopedia together fortnightly would cost them about $2,000. So people thought, no, I'm not going to do it. Anyway, I then got involved with Bob Harvey, and we met in a pub, the publishers' party, Christmas party, and we were sitting at the bar. Bob said to me, I like to do a book on West Auckland. And I said, I'd like to photograph on West Auckland. So we got together and created the Untamed Coast, which sold out within a fortnight. And then there was a reprint and a reprint and a reprint. So nearly everybody out here actually ended up owning the Untamed Coast. So we went on to Rolling Thunder and then other publications. And then I went on to my own books. A few years ago I had a heart attack. I went and saw my doctor and he said you should do something less stressful than driving around New Zealand taking photographs. And I said, how about if I sit at home and paint? He said, that's a brilliant idea. So that's what I've been doing.
Still are.
It's more difficult now. I've got a neck injury. When I'm leaning over painting, it's really quite painful. Got arthritis, so I can do a 10-minute stretch at a time.
Oh dear.
Anyway, on to this creation. I got wind of this project a few months ago, and I thought, oh, I live at Kerry. They're going to ask me to do a picture of Kerry. And I'll pick an animal, a local animal. So I created a Kerry artwork, and then I got an email saying, would you like to do painting for Piha? I thought, oh my God, I've got to change the painting now. So I've actually got a spare one if you ever want it. But I know that Mandy Patmore is the artist chosen man.
Yeah.
And she's in Peru at the moment. And I said to her, if you don't come back from Peru, I've got your painting done. Anyway, so shall we go?
Yes, let's go.
I'm glad it wasn't an eel. I wouldn't have known how to do that. So we got
Fantastic.
good old Lion Rock on it. It's just a simple design. Because I thought it would make quite good T-shirts and posters and
That's the
things.
moment of reach. And just to say, Te Piha, as I guess most locals will know, Te Piha is the rock, if you like. The name of the pa on the rock, people often just think of it as Piha and Lion Rock. The name of the pa is I can't tell you now. And then there's Piha beach. So there's the rock, the beach, and the pa, and they all have different names.
I think it's on the mural outside, actually.
Ah, there you are.
Yeah.
Well, so if you need the name, it's out there somewhere. Thanks, Ted. That was great. This is great. And just to tell you a little bit about what we're doing with our Korora program is we've got a partnership and MOUs with the New Zealand Penguin Institute and the Auckland Zoo. These MOUs are really about monitoring what the situation is of penguin here. We have another unveiling, a whole lot of penguin boxes
Oh, neat.
set up in mostly down at the north end of in Kornui and the northern part of the beaches, not so much down here, one or two in the dunes which aren't apparently very attractive to the birds. We know at least one is being used, so some protection from the various predators and especially dogs. This is the old design actually. We've changed the design so it's got a hallway which makes it even harder for the predators to get at our precious korora. So the big issue for us and korora are dogs in the wrong place, or dogs not under control when they're in the right place. So you know the rules here. People are permitted to have their dogs off leash on Waitatura, North Piha. They are generally pretty good, the people who go there, although not all their dogs are always under control. And of course the dotterels, the endangered dotterels, have chosen to nest in the middle of the dog area, which leads me to think that perhaps they're not very bright, and that's why they're endangered. The places they choose to establish them. And also, of course, you probably know that they nest right on the edge of the high tide. So when there's a super tide, their nests disappear. Fortunately, they have the practice of going again, maybe once or even twice, so to get a chick fledged. So yeah, that's our korora program. We're going to make t-shirts available, and Michelle is going to tell us exactly how we can get the t-shirts. Quickly.
I've got some cards available that I'll give everybody. That just has a little QR code on. You just need to scan it, and you can purchase them online.
Or you can buy mine. $100.
And what's going to happen with the artwork is that we're going to display it in the library here. We think probably for until the big auction. So that's not until 2026. So that will be able to be, that'll be there for us, and we might develop a little bit of a pamphlet or some information about korora here, and it will be. And the other thing is the display.
The children's display is up.
It's up.
Yeah.
There's a children's display there. We'll keep that over school holidays and that sort of thing. So it remains for me to thank you all for coming. And here's this is interesting. So this is a korora information mug, right? So it's got the penguin, and then it's got a little question on it, and the answer to the question is inside the cup.
Whoa!
Well, that's for the children and for any adults who don't know the answers.
Cool. Well done, boy.
Or you can't take the teacher
And then-
out of the classroom.
And Maureen and her crew, thank you, have put on a cup of tea, which is over at the back of the books.
In the reading room.
In the
Many thanks to Sheila for
the
helping.
reading room. Pat.
Since we're talking about korora, I'd just like to acknowledge the work of Dudley Bell.
His
passion and his life, and every time I try and get hold of Lynn, she's off with Dudley somewhere looking for penguins.
Now they're off in Africa looking for lions.
And they're very extremely disappointed that they couldn't be here today. It was